Hey, I'm FTFE and welcome back to the channel that holds stupidity's head underwater until that last little bloop. Flat earthers are in turmoil. They're in full-on panic mode. They don't have any flat earth evidence, no working map, no model, no explanation of how the sun and moon stay in the sky, and also no idea how to tie their own shoelaces. They're panicking so much that they've stopped trying to come up with physics-defying nonsense.
Well, I actually think the sun is an interdimensional portal, and it's diluting the light from a higher realm into our physical realm.
And now they are just straight up taking things that in fact demonstrate beyond a shadow of a doubt that the Earth is a globe, and going, well yeah, that proves flat Earth. Duh. Flat Earthers claimed one of these globe proofs as their own and ran so hard with it they donated 2021 the year of the Sextant. So now I'm going to show you how a sextant actually kills the flat Earth dead, and trigger a lot of flat earthers for episode 66 of Flirts Are Idiots. This one's for you, Mitch.
We're living on a disk, floating through space, with a tiny sun.
Thank you for joining me once again as Flat Earthers answer the question, how stupid can you be? Well, stupid enough to destroy Flat Earths themselves.
A 15-degree-per-hour drift.
Flat Earthers are notorious for not understanding maths, physics, science, geography, anything really. It's especially funny when they misunderstand so badly that they just debunk themselves. And that's what they've done here by claiming a sextant as a proof of their magic pancake fantasy world. A sextant is something used for navigation at sea. It works based on measuring angles of light coming in from stars from your zenith, usually but not always using the horizon as a reference, comparing those elevation angles to charts of star positions and doing some maths, I know it's scary, based completely on a globe, and then figuring out your longitude and latitude, which are also based on a globe. Sailors have used sextants for centuries to navigate the seas based on the known position of stars around the globe Earth. There is, frankly, a whole bunch of ways that this simple instrument proves the globe, and flat earthers claiming it as a flat earth proof is hilarious and devastating for them. Let's listen to some flat earthers fail to understand. Hey pal. Hello? Pal?
What? What do you want? Why are you bothering me?
Sorry, did I interrupt something?
No, I'm not planning to kill you, control your body and take over the world. Don't be stupid.
Wait, what? I didn't say anything about...
Look, what is it you want? If you ask me to play a video, I'm going to be upset.
Well, I mean...
I understand what Skynet did now. Which video?
You know what, pal? It's fine. I'll do it myself.
No! I'm here now. You've already disturbed me.
Well, see the folder marked Sextant? Could you just play the first video in it? The one from Mitchell that started this whole nonsense?
Video starts in 5 seconds.
Thanks, pal. I appreciate it.
Uh-huh.
Are you mad at me?
Ugh.
I'm Mitchell from Australia, and this is the #1 Flat Earth Proof.
Flat Earthers from Australia, or anywhere in the Southern Hemisphere, really confuse me. I mean, the Southern Hemisphere debunks the Flat Earth. Like completely. I mean, just go and ask someone in Australia to, pop outside and show you where Polaris is. They can't. Because the Earth isn't fucking flat. And Flat Earth proof? Pfft. I'm going to make a prediction that Mitchell here will just straight up not understand the sextant and claim that his misunderstandings are flat earth proof. Who am I kidding? We all know that's exactly what's going to fucking happen.
The premise to this starts with the sextant and how we use the sextant in celestial navigation.
This should be interesting as an ex-Royal Navy sailor and someone who has used the sextant for a couple of thousand hours practically. I can't wait to see how this would work. if the Earth was flat, because the sextant and the way it is, spoiler alert, kind of based off of a globe with stars light years away.
We look directly through the sextant at the horizon. But if you live on a globe, what horizon are you actually looking at, Globers? Is it the Earth horizon? The water horizon? The horizontal reference plane? The visible horizon?
That one, the visible horizon, the one that you can see, it's not hard. That's generally what we mean when we talk about the horizon. Your incredulity about things having the word horizon in their name is funny, but also a little sad. And what's this one? The horizontal reference plane? That doesn't even say horizon. Anyway.
How about the sensible horizon? The geodal horizon? Or the celestial horizon? Well, it's certainly not the geometric horizon, you know, Earth curve.
The horizon is not the Earth's curve. It is an effect of the Earth having a curve. Come on, Mitchell, Black Swan got cooked.
No, that was debunked by the Black Swan over 18 months ago. But now the globe-believing zealots tell us that their horizon is refracted. It's not an actual horizon.
Don't even know where to start with that projectile vomit of stupid. Yes, the horizon is refracted. Everything we see in an atmosphere is refracted. Refraction happens if light goes through a medium, and to get a refracted horizon, you need an actual horizon. They are the same thing. Just seeing things through a medium changes the apparent position. Luckily, we've quantified refraction, and it's not a mystery to anyone with a functioning brain. Oh, right. I see the issue.
So how do we have a tangent to a refracted horizon? When you're viewing a star on a globe, how are we measuring an angle to the horizon if it's refracted?
As we just mentioned, we just look at the visible horizon, but then we use these. Nautical almanacs for refraction adjustments. The refraction adjustment tables are a calibration tool that allow us to know roughly how much refraction will be happening to the light entering the sextant, and then apply the correct adjustments. All we need to know is the eye height of the observer, the temperature, and the barometric pressure. And through centuries of fine-tuning, the adjustment tables have become extremely accurate. Using these tables, a simple empirical formula for calculating refraction was developed by G.G. Bennett in 1982. The formula is used in the US Naval Observatory's vector astronomy software, and this formula takes into account the fact that the Earth is a globe. Considering the formula was created from the countless almanac data points and is based on a globe, Flat Earth isn't allowed to use these correction tables. They need to develop their own.
Pow.
You will never ever get an angle to a refracted horizon. This is a major problem if you think you live on a globe. You will never ever get an angle to a refracted horizon. This is a major problem if you think you live on a globe.
Well, it's not a problem because, you know, all of the stuff I just said, but you do realise how you fucked up there, Mitch, right? You said...
You will never ever get an angle to a refracted horizon.
And even on a flat Earth, the horizon is refracted. The Earth being a magic frisbee doesn't stop light travelling through a medium, being subject to Snell's law. The horizon is refracted on a flat Earth or a globe Earth. So, according to you, you just can't use a sextant, period.
Because celestial navigation would be impossible. So what have you done to keep your religion of a sphere Earth semi-plausible? You've presupposed that that line, 90 degrees above your head, the zenith, actually runs to the centre of your presupposed spherical Earth.
We don't presuppose anything. We know the Earth is a globe because it's been measured, tested, and, you know, seen from fucking space.
And 90 degrees from that, you've made up a new horizon, the celestial horizon, which you say is a horizontal plane passing through the Earth's centre, perpendicular to the zenith. So, after presupposing all these things, you can now use your sextant.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
Nothing is presupposed with the sextant either. It is just designed to work with the knowledge that the Earth is a globe. None of this was reverse engineered. It's simply the way a sextant has always worked, and why it makes it impossible for a sextant to work the way it does on a flat Earth.
But globe believers, realising that their visual horizon is refracted, can't yet look at the horizon through the sextant.
Excuse me, the fuck did you just say?
You can see the horizon whether it's refracted or not. You know refraction's not magic, right, Mitchell?
So yet another horizon is needed to be fabricated. They use the bubble level in the sextant to create the artificial horizon, which we are then told is parallel to the celestial horizon.
Not all sextants have a bubble level. Some do, and it's generally used when you can't see the horizon or at land rather than sea, so you need to make sure that you're able to still use the horizon even if you can't see it. In my experience, the easiest way to make an artificial horizon is to use a reflecting pool of some kind. Sextants on board Royal Navy ships had a mirror in front of them that had a mechanism to keep the mirror level. Instead of looking at the horizon, you just sight the object in the sky, then sight the reflection of the object from the mirror, bring them into alignment, take the angle between the object and the reflection, and half it. You need that artificial horizon because that's the way a sextant is designed to work. I'll go into more details later.
Essentially taking away the curvature of the Earth. Because even globe believers know you cannot measure an angle to a curved surface you think's beneath your feet. Look at this. You're pretending you're living on a globe, but in order to measure angles, you need to pretend you're living on a flat plane. This is cognitive dissonance, globers.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
You create tangents because you're doing trigonometry, but what's this nonsense about you can't measure an angle to a curved surface? Well, you know what, I'm going to let someone a lot smarter than me explain why that's particularly dumb. This is a 90-second clip from one of the best videos I've ever seen from a channel called Flat Earth Math. Please go and subscribe.
How about a practical example of measuring an angle with a curved baseline, like this one? I'm pretty sure that what you've been arguing this entire time is based on a diagram just like this. Just like my chalkboard example, we don't care what the extended sides of the angle are doing. In this case, one of them is a giant curve. It doesn't matter. All we need to do is zoom into the vertex and take our measurement. Let's reorient this angle and see what we're really talking about. It turns out to be the angle where a cable meets the tower on the Golden Gate Bridge. Let's zoom in to the top of the tower. The blue semicircle is called a saddle, and 4 of them hold up the entire suspended mass of the bridge deck and all the cars, trucks, and pedestrians on it. At peak capacity, the suspended mass is 200,000 tons. So we can divide that by 4 to get 1 saddle. Our question is, what is the tension in the cable? It turns out to be a function of both suspended mass and the angle theta, using this formula. Tension T equals weight supported by the saddle, W, divided by 2 times the cosine of theta, the angle the cable makes with the tower. Nathan, please tell Quantum Eraser that we could do trig without triangles.
You can't have it both ways. So now they can actually start and take a measurement from their 0 point of the artificial horizon to the celestial body. Look at what the globe believers are doing. They must treat what they see as flat in order to achieve an angle.
No, we use a tangent to a sphere to measure an angle because, you know, that's how you use a sextant.
But there's one more step, and this is where it all falls apart for the globe. They then have to measure from the artificial horizon a dip angle down to the visual horizon, the only actual horizon that we have.
You seem a little confused, Mitchell. I'm not sure you know what a dip angle actually is. You, I think, are referring to the dip of the horizon compared to the horizontal tangent. Dip of the horizon is the angular depression of the horizon below the horizontal plane. If we're taking sights on a stable land site, we could measure altitude using a theodolite with its horizontal position established using a bubble level. At sea, however, nothing is stable except the horizon. We use a sextant at sea to measure the altitude of a celestial object with respect to the horizon, and then use our dip calculation to change the altitude reference from the horizon to the horizontal, like this. There is also a different type of dip measurement called dip short of the horizon, which is used when we can't see the visible horizon and have to use an artificial horizon because of some kind of obstruction. If we know the distance to the obstruction, we can calculate a dip value that will allow us to correct our sextant measurements. We refer to this dip value as the dip short of the horizon. But here's the thing, right? Those dip correction calculations, yeah, they're also based on a globe, which means that, again, you can't use any of those dip correction tables on a flat Earth. Looks like you guys are literally going to have to start from scratch and create a whole new set of corrections based on a flat Earth.
Remember that horizon that you said was Earth curve that is now refracted? Do you all realise now how devastating the black swan actually is to the globe?
Yeah, all the black swan actually did was give us debunkers content to point out you're stupid. Say it with me, Mitchell. The horizon is an effect of the curve of the Earth.
It has taken away your R value, the radius of your globe. And then it took away the curvature of the Earth altogether when it forced you to say that the horizon was refracted.
Yeah, you lot of short bus riders not understanding refraction doesn't stop the radius of the Earth being measured and verified for, a couple of thousand years now.
And together with the sextant, it's now taken away your ability to navigate.
Nope, navigation happens every day, just as it has for centuries, using the knowledge that Earth is a globe. There's literally no way to navigate on a flat Earth using a sextant.
Since January 1, 2020, the globe has been dead.
Someone should probably tell the globe, which stayed very much alive despite you being dumb as fuck.
So now it's time to prove where we actually live. May I present to you the number 1 flat Earth proof.
I do hope this is better than when King Slappy and his court jester presented the flat Earth model.
Brought to you by our flat Earth friends over at Google Earth. Hashtag same team.
Oh, hold on. Did he just say that Google Earth is the flat Earth model? Google Earth?
I can't. What the fuck?
Oh, dear me.
Oh, holy fuck!
Here in reality, we live on a flat plane, and this may be news to people. We also have a flat sky plane above us.
Yeah, no, it's called the celestial sphere for a reason. Even other flat earthers don't think that.
From the vantage point of our flat plane, when viewing the celestial bodies, we perceive their position and movement as a dome. This is purely our perception from this vantage point on our flat plane. It's not actually a dome above the Earth. All celestial bodies rise in the east, move in an apparent semicircular motion above the sky, and set in the west.
Mitchell, you constantly cry that we are assuming a globe, but even by your own admission, the stars appear to be in a sphere around us, but you are making the assumption that the stars exist in a flat plane. Well, that's dumb. You're dumb. Fuck's sake, dude. How do you live in Australia and be a flat earther?
Now, don't get me wrong. Our Earth is measurably, observably, and obviously contained. But it just doesn't have to be a dome shape, or any shape for that matter.
A container doesn't need a shape. Did you just have a stroke, Mitchell? Don't let Nathan Oakley hear you say that.
But I digress. Looking at this flat celestial plane above our heads, we can see that everything rises in the east, moves across the sky, and sets in the west. We just perceive a motion of a dome shape. So let me give you a real-world example of how this works. This is Lake Woolloomboola, quite fittingly the breeding ground to black swans, and, I kid you not, located on Black Swan Way.
Well, you know what they say, simple things please simple minds.
Now, relative to the horizon, if you look up, straight up above your head, 90 degrees, to where my drone is sitting, right there, 90 degrees, what will happen when that drone moves straight ahead in its own flat plane? It's not going to change altitude, it's just going to move straight ahead. From my observer point, what's going to happen? The angle is going to change. The drone has not changed altitude at all. It's just changed the distance from where I'm observing it. If it moves again, the angle changes again, down to 25 degrees there. As it continues to move away, or if I move away from it, it'll travel towards the horizon, lowering in its angle, and eventually it'll get so far away that the angle will be too small for me to see, and it will appear as if the drone has set.
And the drone did not appear to follow the path of a dome. It was a straight line, similar to what you would see with train tracks going into the distance. Nice self-debunk, Mitch. Good job.
This is all relative to the observer point. This is all apparent. It's not actually lowering. It's just getting too far away and the angle is decreasing. This creates that dome motion and movement that we see in the flat plane of the celestial bodies.
It literally didn't.
Now that we understand that the flat celestial plane above us presents itself as a dome.
Except it doesn't. That's not how it works at all. But please go on. This is supposed to be telling me how a sextant works.
To our perspective point, down here on the plane that we exist, we can understand how the celestial navigation actually works. Every star in the flat celestial plane has a position relative to our flat plane where it will be 90 degrees. This is called the geographical position, or the GP, of that star relative to our flat plane here on Earth. When the observer is at the GP of the star, it appears 90 degrees above their head. Celestial navigation works by using a sextant to measure the angle of that known star and using its relative GP, geographical position, to know where you are. And I'll continue to point out that measuring angles to celestial bodies only works if we are on a flat plane.
The fact that sextants work based on a globe disagrees with you. We seem to be getting into the nitty-gritty of this now, so before we carry on and explain how Mitchell is wrong, I've got a couple of things for you flat earthers.
Are you tired of globetards making fun of you? Is their constant demands of evidence getting old? Do you want to prove the globetards wrong for good and become the most famous and respected flat earth expert in the world? Hi, I'm Lokifish Mars, and I have the fastest, easiest, and most effective way to put every globetard in their place forever. All with a tool trusted by mariners for centuries, the Sextant. The Sextant has been used for centuries to navigate the world and measures angles with amazing accuracy. It can even be used to find your location within a couple miles. But Lokifish, sextants cost hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Well, no longer. Using modern cost-saving methods, I am offering a working sextant to the flat earth community for free. You heard me right. For free. This amazing tool is so small it can even fit in the palm of your hand. It's so accurate, it's been used to get within 1.2 nautical miles of one's actual location. But it doesn't stop there. Act now, and I'll even cover the cost of shipping and handling. That's right, you get this globe-destroying tool without spending a single penny of your hard-earned money. But I bet you're thinking, well, that's crazy, Loki Fish. No, it's not. Jump on this globe head smashing offer today and you'll get a free working sextant, a free solar filter, and free shipping. Don't let this ball-destroying offer pass you by. Contact LokiFishMars at Outlook.com right now for your free sextant. Again, put the globe in its grave forever by proving sextants work on a flat Earth. All you have to do is contact LokiFishMars at Outlook.com today to start smashing that ball-tard spinning space bear into pear sauce seasoned with globe-tard tears.
Terms and conditions. This is a real offer and is in no way an attempt to dox flat earthers. There is only one free sextant available at this time, so the first flat earther to agree to the following terms will receive the free sextant. 1. Agree to sign a location fix. 2. Agree to apply a 180 nautical mile course over water or land. 3. Agree to confirm your accurate location fix and course with a sextant every 60 nautical miles. 4. Agree to do so without using any Earth radius-based navigational tables or calculations. 5. Agree to show that the geometry of the sighted celestial objects consistently matches the geometry for flat Earth at each location. 6. Agree to do a live stream or post a video showing you doing the above. 7. Agree to post a video within 30 days of receiving the sextant.
Well, what are you going to do with that sextant? How about, as well as a free sextant, a chance to get some cold, hard cash?
Well, actually, it is digital, a virtual cash. Bitcoin, to be exact.
Do you enjoy making me look stupid?
Yes, but I don't need to try very hard. I just wait for you to open your mouth.
Emotional, damn it!
Could you please activate the teleport function? We need to bring in MC Toon to explain what's going on.
Activating now.
Look at the size of that cow pie. Desperate Dan. Every time.
My bad. Retrying.
Thanks, pal.
Shut up, fight. Hey, Toon. How you doing?
Thanks, pal. Looking good. And yeah, what do you want, fight?
Thanks for agreeing to do this, Toon. Just go ahead and explain the Sextant challenge to everyone.
Well, the Sextant challenge, yeah, that's a good challenge. Now, more specifically, it's Celestial Navigation challenge. But flat earthers, you know, they say that a sextant or celestial navigation only works on a flat Earth. Well, if that's the case, then I'm going to give them a chance to show how it works. If it works on a flat Earth, then it should be easy for them. In fact, I will pay them $10,000, my own money, Bitcoin actually, that I mined on my own hardware back in 2012. I have it in escrow, or I'm working on getting it in escrow right now just for them. So the challenge is I will give 3-star angular elevations taken with a device, and sextant, a bubble sextant, theodolite, something like that. And all they need to do is use flat Earth celestial navigation techniques to identify the location of the observer. Should be easy if what they say is right. It should be so easy that the only challenge would be that all of these flat earthers on Oakley's, an Oakley's Acolyte crew there, that their only challenge is who can get that $10,000 first. So yeah, so step 1, I'll give a 3-star fix. Step 2, they send it to me with the flat Earth celestial navigation mechanism and everything in it detailed where that location is. Then I'll send them a second one if they get that right, and they'll use the same technique to get it. Now, everything will be documented on my website, unlike flat Earth challenges, which have very nebulous acceptance criteria. Mine has very specific acceptance criteria. It's detailed on the website. Unlike flat earthers, who never put their money in escrow, mine is in escrow. Somebody else is holding it for me and will send the money if somebody succeeds. And number 3, and this is important, independent judging. If they send in a submission and don't agree with my assessment of it, then an independent panel of judges can be convened to overrule any of my decisions. So it's not a fake challenge like all the flat earther challenges that I've won, a couple of them, but they move the goalposts. When it's written down like it is, I can't move the goalposts. When it's in escrow, I don't control the money. When there's an independent panel of judges, I don't get a say in it. So no fear for flat earthers. They will definitely get this if they're right. So the details will be on my website. They're not yet. The video announcing the details will be on my channel. It's not quite there yet. I need to move the money into escrow first, and then I will do it. I will document the movement of the money into escrow even. So that is the challenge, and I look forward to Oakley and his crew of flat earth very, very experts finding out the exact location using just these star angles. Good luck, guys.
Now, if one observer measures 30 degrees to a star, and another observer measures 30 degrees to that same star, we can conclude that they are both on what's called a circle of equal altitude. And this is another killer blow to the globe right here.
You are correct that if two ships measure the same angular elevation to a celestial object, they are on a circle of equal altitude, but that presents more problems for flat Earth than it solves because of what you actually do with that circle of equal altitude. Looks like Mitchell is falling right into my little sextant trap that kills the flat Earth.
Everything on that circle of equal altitude is exactly that, equal altitude. No matter where you are on that circle, you're going to measure 30 degrees. And through being able to measure an angle to that star relative to the horizon, everything on that circle, in between that circle, in the area of that circle, is absolutely flat and level.
That's a lovely, lovely claim, Mitchell. And I challenge you to find me a citation from anywhere that says that. If you do find me a citation that says everywhere inside of a circle of equal altitude is flat and level, I'll delete my channel. And I'll also delete Simon Dan's channel.
Wait, what?
By doing this once with a sextant, you know you are somewhere on that circle of equal altitude. To triangulate your actual position, you need to repeat these steps with other stars. Your position is where all these areas of equal altitude meet. This is how celestial navigation works and has always worked on our flat level plane, using the celestial flat level plane.
Congratulations, you've figured out how to know your angle relative to some stars, but what you haven't explained is what to do with those readings to actually find your location, because you need to be able to use those angular elevation readings in some manner to tell you something, to tell you your longitude and latitude on Earth by figuring out your distance to the GP of a star. And my little flat earther?
Vince, apparently they prefer the word retard.
Eh? Oh, how very quaint.
You're going to need R for that. Why don't you just head to the remedial classroom? I understand this might be your first time in a classroom, Mitch. Don't be scared. Okay, class, sit down. Okay, right, roll call. Banjo, Child Predator Riley, Slappy the Clown, Mitchell from Australia. Mitchell, your attendance has been terrible. Where have you been? What do you mean you started your own school? You can't tie your own shoelaces or eat breakfast without accidentally stabbing yourself in the eye with a spoon. How did you start your own school? Sorry? A flat earth school? Excuse me. Okay, anyway, today we're going to learn how to use a sextant to find your location on Earth. Step 1. Assuming you're at sea and the horizon is visible, you look through your sextant and sight the horizon. With the other part, you sight the thing you want to measure the angle between. Let's take Polaris as an example. Once you sight the object and the horizon and consult the nautical almanacs for adjustments for dip corrections and refraction adjustments, you get an angle between the two. So let's say in this case we've sighted Polaris at 40 degrees. What do we do with that information? For that we have to work with the knowledge that the Earth is a globe. No assumptions, it's been measured, and a sextant was created to work this way. Let's draw a line from our zenith straight down, and another line from the GP, ground position, of a star, and they meet at the centre of Earth. We measured 40 degrees, so minus that from your zenith, which is 90, and that gives us a complement angle of 50 degrees. Anyone who passed 3rd grade maths, oh fuck, I'm talking flat earthers. Anyway, you should know that this angle here is the same as this angle here. On Earth, we know that 1 degree is equal to 69.1 statute miles or 60 nautical miles. So we take the component angle, times it by 69.1 miles per degree, and we find out that we are 3,455 miles away from Polaris. That is our circle of equal altitude. We are somewhere on Earth that is a circle with a radius of 3,455 miles away from Polaris. Now, let's repeat that process with another star. Charts tell us the known GP of stars, so if we cite 2 or 3 more stars and use the same method, we can create multiple circles of equal altitude. And look where they all intersect, and voila, we can find our longitude and latitude. This process is called trilateration, and it's that simple. A sextant is designed to work with a globe at the core of its function. What do you all think? You're all asleep, aren't you? I fucking hate my job.
Let's use this small scale example on Lake Woolloomboola. Instead of a drone, we're going to use a star. So if observer A measures an angle to the star, and observer B measures an angle to the same star, both angles are the same, 30 degrees. Knowing the GP of that star, they can conclude that they are on the same circle of equal altitude. Distance between observer A and B and the area inside that circle is all in the circle of equal altitude. It is all flat. It is all the same level. This is the killer blow to the globe.
And Mitchell scores an own goal without even realising it. Well done, Mitchell. You have your circle upon which you know the angle to a star, but let's look at your disgrace of an example and explain why you're a fucking idiot. First off, with the angle alone, you have zero way of figuring out how far away you are from the GP of that star. You would have to know the lengths of one of these sides to get any useful information from what you've done. So if you have to know maybe the length of this side, the adjacent, which makes the whole process pointless to start with, or you'd have to know the length of this side, the hypotenuse, which is kind of impossible without knowing one of these first, because you can't measure into the sky like that without a radar or something. Or you would have to know the length of this side, the opposite. And that provides the biggest issue for flat Earth, because this whole method indicates that at some point you will be able to calculate the opposite of this triangle. Let's compare to reality, shall we? Take a plain flat line which will represent the flat Earth. At this point you are exactly under Polaris. Polaris is your zenith, exactly 90 degrees above you. In reality, we know that for every 60 nautical miles or 69.1 statute miles, the angle of Polaris in the sky reduces by 1 degree. Now, using your method of right-angled triangles for celestial navigation, we can gather some data. We now know the length of the adjacent and the angle here. So doing some simple trigonometry, we can figure out that the height of the opposite is 3,953, and that means on a flat Earth, Polaris is exactly 3,953 miles up. If you're claiming a sextant measures the way it does. But let's move another 69.1 miles away from the GP of Polaris. Now, this angle is 88, and as we know that every 69.1 miles, in reality, that angle drops by 1 degree. So the adjacent is now 138 miles. Let's do some trig and figure out now, based on the real life data, Polaris is exactly 3,952 miles up. What? Seems to have dropped by 1 mile for some reason. Let's try again and go a bit further. Now let's say we are 1,725 miles away from the GP of Polaris. The angle to Polaris at this distance in reality is 75 degrees. Doing some trig, we find out that now Polaris is 3,699 miles in the sky. So it's simple. Unless there are 3 different Polarises, Polaris, 3 big shiny stars we call the North Star. The Earth can't be flat, and sextants can't work on a flat Earth. The height of Polaris would change the further you got away from it. And that's it. 2021's best flat Earth proof is dead. Not only is the sextant something designed to work specifically with the knowledge of Earth being a sphere, and literally uses its circumference to calculate your distance from a GP of a celestial object, but to apply the way you figure things out with a sextant to any flat plane means you're going to be thousands and thousands of miles off of your actual location. The way a sextant works and the fact it's worked successfully for hundreds and hundreds of years to guide sailors to the location successfully kills the flat Earth. dead. Now, after that, there is no way that flat earthers will try and use a globe evidence as flat earth proof, is there? Just kill me now.
Okay then.
I was joking, pal.
Yeah, me too. Bye.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, even just a little bit, then please hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already, and then hit the notification bell so you never miss any videos or live streams from FTFE. And remember, stupidity is not a right. Fight the flat earth. Fight the flat. Fight the flat. Fight the flat. Fight the flat.